Rachel Zegler, left shaken as Lilo and Stitch outperforms Snow White. A 7-year-old actress might be about to do what Rachel Zegler couldn't, make Disney a box office hit. That's right. The upcoming Lilo and Stitch live-action remake is projected to obliterate Snow White's numbers. And behind the scenes, insiders say Rachel Zegler is panicking. Let's be honest, this is absolutely the last thing Rachel needed. After fronting a $270 million Disney film that crashed financially, she's now watching a lower-budget remake with none of the controversy gain massive momentum. The Lilo and Stitch trailer hit 158 million views in just 24 hours, and the movie is expected to debut with over $100 million domestically during Memorial Day weekend, almost topping Snow White's full earnings in just 3 days. Preliminary forecasts predict a global total between $800 million to $1 billion, fueled by nostalgia, stronger timing, and a completely controversy-free release. And the lead actress? She's only 7 years old, and already demonstrating more grace than Rachel showed through her entire Snow White publicity tour. In a recent interview, she indirectly shaded Rachel by repeatedly emphasizing how much she adored her role and how proud she was to portray it. Compare that to Rachel's notorious press run where she labeled herself a narcissist and admitted she didn't even enjoy Snow White as a child. Now, the contrast couldn't be clearer, and fans are making sure Rachel sees the comparison. Snow White launched with only $43 million domestically, missing the $45 to $55 million target. It earned just $195 million globally, despite a $270 million budget. For a film to break even, it usually needs to pull in 2 to 2.5 times its budget. This one didn't come close. And if that wasn't bad enough, Rachel has been mostly out of the public eye since. In a recent Instagram story, she was shown riding the New York subway, seemingly unfazed by fans, because no one even noticed her. Quite the shift from just a year earlier, when she moved around with a security team and PR assistants in chauffeured vehicles. Still, even after the disaster, Rachel managed to book a new part. She's now slated to star opposite Marisa Tomei in a comedy drama titled She Gets It From Me. So how did she score the role? Some observers believe it's not only due to talent. One explanation: Rachel had multi-film deals in place before Snow White's downfall. Another idea: studios still see her as the woke symbol to push certain agendas, even if the audience clearly isn't responding anymore. Some even argue her casting has more to do with branding strategy and less to do with on-screen performance. It's one thing to be outdone by a billion-dollar juggernaut like Frozen or Inside Out. But what's happening to Rachel Zegler now feels like something else entirely. Reports claim she's now desperately seeking a therapist due to the non-stop trolling and backlash since Snow White hit theaters. Even before its premiere, she tried to prepare fans emotionally by crying on camera saying, "I know I'm flawed, but people will still show up." But no, they didn't show up. And now she's watching her film lose screen time to Lilo and Stitch and Minecraft, 2 projects that were expected to do well, but not at this level. In China, families actively chose not to take their kids to Snow White. Local media even published pieces calling out the movie's lack of moral clarity and confusing character identity as reasons families were skipping it. Meanwhile, Minecraft is crushing the box office. The film earned over $700 million worldwide in under 20 days, more than triple Snow White's final take. Believe it, some theaters are now physically removing Snow White from their listings to make room for Minecraft and Lilo and Stitch. This move is known in the industry as shelf replacement. When a movie fails and ticket sales vanish, theaters drop it to maximize screen availability for hits. In this case, Rachel's Snow White became a non-starter. Still, Rachel apparently tried attending one of the empty showings herself. A viral TikTok showed her and a few friends sitting alone in a theater with not a single other viewer present. Rather than owning the bomb, Rachel allegedly shifted blame to the environment and her own co-stars, dodging personal responsibility. And now, fans are noticing a troubling pattern. Her film bombed, she skipped press, she landed another role anyway, and now, despite everything, she's still acting like the system wronged her. In contrast, Minecraft's massive success is being attributed to something basic: happiness. No heavy themes, no soapbox moments, just entertainment. and audiences are showing their support with cash. Disney's woke strategy didn't land this time, and Rachel's become the poster girl for that failure. The collapse of Snow White is now reverberating through the Hollywood system, and even though Rachel Zegler just signed on for another film, insiders claim her overall bankability is now under scrutiny. Executives are asking, is Rachel Zegler still a viable lead, or just an ongoing liability? Let's not ignore the fact she once labeled the prince in the classic tale as a stalker and scoffed at fairy tale love stories altogether. That one comment alone cost her major goodwill among Disney loyalists, and critics say it perfectly captured why this remake tanked. It wasn't the CGI or the actors, it was the overall message. And now, South Park is reportedly preparing to tear into the entire saga. Leaked info suggests they're planning an episode that targets not only Rachel, but also Disney execs, especially Bob Iger and Kathleen Kennedy, who've previously been mocked in earlier South Park features. One old Bob quote even made the rounds again, where he admits he doesn't even understand what woke means anymore. He just wants Disney projects to leave a positive impression. Meanwhile, Disney's unease is becoming obvious. After the Snow White failure, reports indicate they're halting future live-action remakes. That includes Tangled, which had been viewed as their next major girl boss reboot attempt. It all signals a bigger trend. Go woke, go broke is no longer just a meme. It's beginning to look like an industry-wide correction. And audiences aren't letting go. They're still circulating clips showing how Rachel's original co-stars were replaced with CGI diverse dwarves, all to tick off political boxes. Even previous supporters are now questioning, why did Disney think this would fly? Why did Rachel act like the role was a TED Talk? And most of all, how did they not see the backlash coming? If South Park moves forward, it might seal the whole fiasco. And knowing their brand, they won't hold back on Rachel, Bob Iger, or anyone connected. So what began as just another remake has turned into one of the biggest disasters in recent Disney history. And now Rachel Zegler is the center of it all. From Snow White being pulled from screens, to Lilo and Stitch dominating the very same cinemas, to South Park possibly preparing a savage takedown of the whole team. Rachel's part in this massive PR fallout may go down as the moment that forced Disney to rethink everything. The message from the public is loud and unmistakable. Viewers want joy, they want light, not lectures, not corporate spin, and definitely not altered fairy tales made to match a checklist. Now, we want to hear your perspective. Do you believe Rachel Zegler deserves a second chance after this major failure? Should Disney finally end the live-action remake trend altogether? Or is Lilo and Stitch showing that audiences just crave stories told right, without the baggage? Share your opinion in the comments. We'll be going through them, and the best responses might get highlighted in our next upload. Thanks for watching. See you soon.